We are going to do an educational commentary this morning on mechanics, the baseline mechanics, stuff you need to know if you're getting into Fortnite. I'm going to try to focus on telling people all the little details about just getting into Fortnite. I'm going to try to cover how to drop, what weapons to grab and why, what you should be thinking about. I'm going to try to cover all that. The key with these is with Fortnite, you're going to have to know what weapons do what before you can start like taking on tilted towers and just getting swagged on. The key is to kind of learn what you need to be trying to grab and why, what's important and why, and what you should be expecting in a game. So I'm going to try to land moisty. I'm going to try to land out in the outskirts a bit, just so we can go over some stuff, so you guys can understand how this game operates, okay? So we're going to fly kind of parallel. Like, the higher you go, the lower you go. If you're high, you drop slower. If you're low, you drop faster, right? So if you want to go far away from wherever the bus path is, you have to aim high like this. That's how people do that. The other thing you can do is while you're falling, you can open your chute, and you can look around. You can look around and you can say, no one's near, no one's following me. You can look around the map, and then as soon as you're done, resume the fall again. And then if you do these like little glides like this early, it can get you as far as you want to go. Now you have a choice. You can even delay the drop further by opening the chute a little bit sooner, and then you can land right in the back. I'm going to land here. I didn't see a lot of people landing next to me, so I'm not too worried. Only downside of landing so far in the outskirts is that if you land this far out, you're going to be... Notice the storm is about to show up already. If you land earlier, you would have more time to play before the storm shows itself and more time to loot. And see, that can happen right there. Look how far away the zone is. So we have a little bit of time before we have to move. And this is the risk. Now, baseline mechanics. First thing you want to remember is that you need, in Fortnite, need a shotgun until shotguns become weaker. You also want to try to always organize your inventory the same. You're going to notice that I have a tendency to put my shotgun on 1, my close quarters weapon or another shotgun on 2, and then my rifle on 3. Now this can change. Here I'm running explosives. If you're not running a 4th slot, you can also throw a snipe on that 4th slot. And then for the 5th slot, you always want to have your sustain. Okay? Now, as you're running through the map and farming, you really want to be, or while you're looting, you really want to be trying to grab wood. Like, as much as you can get obsessed with looking for weapons and chests and all that, you really want to make sure that you're constantly grabbing some wood and some loot. The reason why in Fortnite is you're always going to have to defend yourself with build. The thing that turns a lot of new players off to Fortnite and why they get swagged on forever is they don't embrace the fact that shooting is kind of like... Shooting's important in this game. A lot of people say shooting doesn't matter, it's all build. It's like, no, shooting matters, but building's, you know, pretty much equal to it. High ground, fighting for high ground, all that stuff is equal to it. So, you've got to make sure that not only is your shot on point, but you have the materials in the building understood. Now, I've talked in other videos about where to put your binds, but long story short on that is basically, if you're playing this game, you really want your build buttons to be easy to access. Some people can actually play with the defaults, the F keys. Some people can play with the mouse buttons. Some people can play with the keyboards, like Z through V, I think it is, for their builds. Me, personally, I use mouse buttons for my builds, for my materials. So you need to understand that. If you haven't figured out easy access buttons, you need to set those. If you don't know the fast farming technique, I've talked about it before. That's probably in another video. Just ask around and it can be explained. So as you're moving, always be or as you're looting your original zone, always be checking the map and think about where you want to go next. Now, notice I don't have a shotgun. I'm panicking right now because again, that's like loadout 101. You really need that shotgun. the thing about Fortnite, the reason why shotguns have been OP for so long is because building allows you to close space on just about anybody if you have mats. So in order to defend yourself and in order to push, you need to have a shotgun in order to do that. That's just how it is. So if you don't have close quarters weapons and you can't defend yourself, you're not going to be able to survive pushes where people want to just shotgun coin flip you, and you're also not going to be able to push for yourself and take position from people. Now, as we're walking, I might as well just give you a little bit more info about the mechanics of this game. Weapons are hit scan except for snipers, and I think like hunting rifles. Pretty sure the deagle is hit scan at this point, if I'm not mistaken. But the idea is, as long as your crosshair is on somebody, when you pull the trigger, you're gonna do damage instantly. Now, your shot may not hit instantly. Your shot may bloom out. That's another reason why shotguns are so reliable, is because as long as you have your crosshair on somebody, you're probably going to be doing damage. Getting Discord messages. Oh, it's nothing important. But yeah, that's a big thing, is that the people don't understand how the shooting works. The reason I tell you that is because you may be thinking that, like, this is kind of insulting to your intelligence to say something like that. But I'm telling you right now that I didn't understand how important like, a grasp of the shooting mechanics and how they work changes the way that you approach fights. If you see somebody just pop their head out briefly and you have a shotgun and you flick and shoot, that damage registers instant. Like, that's instant damage. So in a lot of other games, that isn't normally the case. The hit scan stuff isn't the case. So it can be a little weird with the first time you play Fortnite if you don't know that, if you're not used to that. Do I have enough time to grab this? I have just enough time, I think. Still looking for a shotgun. Not a very good video to showcase basic mechanics if I can't find one of the core guns. I mean, sometimes you get unlucky. The main reason we were unable to find one is there probably was a shotgun at our original spawn point. The problem is I had to move quickly because the storm was coming for us right away. We had very little time because of the storm. I have to skip that chest, I think. Make sure when you bind your keys, that's why you need to bind your build to easy to access buttons, because when you're when you're falling, you've got to be able to catch yourself with ramps or stairs and stuff like that. Now, when you're learning like I said, like basic mechanics, like baseline mechanics, you need to understand that you're gonna get your butt whooped in the beginning of this game. A lot of people think that Fortnite's a kid's game. I see this stuff in my comments all the time. Really, really misinformed or just plain stupid people in my comments talking about how Fortnite's so easy and so kid, Minecraft-ish. But the reality is this game is truly one of the harder games that's ever been released for mechanics. And that's just what it is. And so you're going to get dumped on when you first start playing this game. Like, you're going to get destroyed by people. This is why I dropped on the outskirts to show you guys the basic mechanics. There's a bush hopping around over there. So with this, I'm going to stop that conversation and focus on killing this guy. So here's the thing. We don't have a shotgun right now, so we're not in love with the idea of getting into a build battle right now. If he pushes us, then we're going to have to make the adjustments. But first, I would rather find a shotgun, a pump, anything. I think I see a blue pump on the ground here, so this is perfect. This was from dead bodies. Anytime you pick up a gun, again, put it in order so that when you get into a fight, you know exactly what you want to do. You should be planning for the fight. Remember, think about what you're trying to accomplish. Here, I'm trying to do some free damage to this guy while he's jumping. Now, I took off, like, it said the numbers. I did, like, 90 damage to his shields, which means I have the green light to push. In Fortnite, aggression is key. It's like Dark Souls. You don't really want to play, like, scared. And also, simultaneously, not a good way to learn. If you hit somebody and deal damage to them, you should be really looking to push them. That guy should be around here. He could be behind cover somewhere. If I find him, I'm going to kill him. He could be behind this rock, so just kind of expect stuff like that. Okay, it looks like he might have just ran completely. I could be getting punked here. I don't know what's going on. Okay, there's a guy there. If you see somebody, remember, build up immediately. And then decide what you want to do. He's building up, so I'm going to push him. I have C4. I'm going to throw that at him. And then go up over him. Take high ground. Now I have a shotgun, so I'm not too scared. And 1v1s, you really want to build up. Always try to build up. That puts your opponent in an awkward position. But also, while you're building, think about how can you die from somewhere else. Now, I know he's under us. Oh, he decided to try to build up. Not a problem. We'll C4 him. Not an issue. Now, he tries to build up there. You've got to be thinking to yourself, if you build higher than three levels, then you're susceptible to fall damage. Since he built up so high, all I have to do is just make sure to knock down his build. And we're going to get that win. So me personally, mechanics, I would say one of the more important things to remember is that double pump is really, really good. But it's more of a high skill option. Okay? Pump and the SMG that I was using is a little less, I think is a little less risky. And then you have like pump and tactical shotgun. But you really want to be thinking about having 2 guns for close quarters. Now this guy's jumping around the middle of the map. Typically, if you see somebody jumping around the middle of the map like this, normally means that they know what they're doing and they're confident. So he's going to build up at us. Same plan as before. He doesn't know that I have C4. So I'm just going to keep knocking down his build and pushing up. C4 is kind of OP right now. Ooh, screwed up my build. I'm going to make him panic. And then, remember, shoot, switch. Shoot, switch. It's going to be one of the hardest things to learn about Fortnite. A lot of this game is just being quick with your fingers. And doing, like, all the stuff that I'm doing and you're seeing me do on these gameplays is, like, it takes practice. Like, you're going to screw it up. You're going to fat finger your keys. You're going to make mistakes. It happens. And like I said, you could tell that guy was confident because he's jumping around the middle of the map. He knows that he wants to fight. He knows what he wants to do. Traditionally, people don't play that way mechanically unless they know that they can fight. Newbies, what newbies will do is what you're going to be tempted to do. You're going to be tempted to hide. You're going to be tempted to not challenge. A lot of this game is about taking a quick, like making a decision and sticking with it and knowing what you want to do immediately. Sometimes you're going to blank. I've been playing this game for a while now. Sometimes you blank and you don't have a plan, and that's normally when you get beat by somebody. If you don't have a game plan. If you don't know exactly what you want to do immediately. So, one good thing is, like I said, I compare Fortnite a lot to Dark Souls in that a lot of the time the answer is be aggressive. Like if you're ever confused about what the play is, normally the answer was, yeah, you should have did something aggro. What is it? Figure it out. And a lot of things hinge on whether or not your aim is good close quarters and you can juggle the building. Which is why, again, some people say, well, drop tilted towers and just kind of get your feet wet. That's all well and good, but if you don't know how, like, to do this stuff and to, like, ramp, you can get yourself in a lot of trouble. And so when this guy shoots at us, all we have to do is spam walls and we can live. Gotta make sure I don't get shot in the butt, though. I think he's under me. Or something. Or behind that tree. I don't know. He's spamming us pretty hard. And he peeked out into our shot and got one tapped. Cocky player. Can't just spam me. Now that guy, notice how he didn't build. He had decent aim, but notice how he didn't build. That, to me, is, even if he kills us, which you will, trust me, you will get killed by people that can shoot well, especially if you're on PC. You'll get capped by people that can shoot well all the time, but don't know what they're doing build-wise. But you notice, we put ourselves in a position where we're behind cover, we're at a higher elevation, we can use third person, we can do all sorts of stuff. If we have the high ground. If you don't build, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. Now, basic building stuff, basic building techniques. If you want to push somebody, one thing you can do is as soon as you see them, you build a ramp at them, right? Newbies originally just start doing this, build a ramp at people. Problem is, they can shoot the base of the ramp out. So then, the next step is to learn to do a double ramp. Double ramp, easy to execute. Traditionally, people won't shoot it down until you face better players. Now, the key is if you really want to make sure you don't get swagged on for ramping at somebody, it should be double ramp plus a wall under it. That will make sure that you don't get shot down. You can actually just push somebody pretty aggressively and then just jump to their build if they're building at you, because they won't be able to shoot it down in time. So, all those things, super important to know. And then as you play the game more, you'll start to understand how to, like, build and what situations that you need to be able to, like, ramp, or you need to tower, or you need to edit. Very, very important that you understand those things. Now, I heard some guy, that's another thing, make sure you have headphones when you play this game. There's a guy under me with the shotgun, freaking out. He's on my D. I'm just going to drop down, not a problem. Go up above him. Always fight for high ground. This guy was camping. I don't like campers. They're gross. If our build gets shot down, we're going to have our ramp, our little bouncer pad. I don't know who's shooting at me. I gotta find him. There's a guy under me still. We know that. We also know we're pretty reinforced. The main reason I say that is because the guy built up to us with bricks as well. We're gonna protect ourselves. Play it slow. 3P. Notice how I'm never peeking above the wall. If you peek, it should be a quick peek. Quick peek and shoot. Why? Because you can get your ass beat. If you're, like, poked out in these games, especially when the circle starts to close. Dudes can shoot you in the face if you're not careful. There's a guy under us. If he knocks you down, not a problem. Build that back up. That's why we farm the mats for. Now he's getting pushed over there. In Fortnite, aggression is always a good option. He's in the middle of a fight. I'm gonna push him. Get high ground over them. Make them sweat a little bit. If you see him, shoot him. And then as soon as you win that fight, you should be trying to take high ground again. There is a guy around us. I know it. I'm not worried about it, though. I also have a jump pad. Jump pads can move us around the map. We can wait for the storm to hit us. We gotta block this guy's push. He hit a good shot on us, so we have to really fight for high ground. If we get shot down, it's whatever. He's gonna follow us if he has a brain. Okay, he's not actually following us. I don't know what he's doing. Oh, he is following me, okay. Put your crosshair on him and spray. I hit him out of the sky somehow, even though he was still flying. That was crazy. Grab his loot. I have no campfire. Unlucky for me. We're having a pretty intense fight here. There's only 3 left. Now, in situations like these, when you start getting low on health, you might have to slow it down a little bit and think about what you need to do. There was somebody under me. Sounded like there was somebody under me. Maybe I'm tripping, dude. Sometimes I'm tripping. So I'm checking to see if I thought I just heard a step. Now, think about the final zone, what you want to do. So have a plan. Plan that makes sense to me is to hide here for a little bit and then move with the zone. He wants to push us. He's confident. Okay. We have to build up then. Just gotta find out where he is. He jumped to us. which I assume means he's confident. You're looking for an opportunity. If this guy exposes himself and doesn't think about your positioning, you can peek him. If he shoots at the other guy, you shoot at you third party, right? If he's in the middle of the fight, you shoot at him. Now, I said, if you wanted to, like, plan the next move, is to go to that building down there, but you need to move with the storm. The reason why you would do that is because if you move with the storm, you're less likely to get flanked from a high ground that you just earned. This guy's jumping, not a problem. Take some shots at him. I hit him for 50. He moves across the map, rather stupidly, I might add. And with the storm moving with us, we can find out where this last guy is. And he comes out of the storm, and then we get an easy win. Now, that's pretty much, now we didn't do many like close quarter shotgun things, but that pretty much covers how to learn Fortnite without the traditional RNG of like Fortnite. Like, if you can land off to the side and get your shotgun, get your core items, and then you'll have the materials. Like, you need to have those materials, you need to have that farm built up so that once you actually run into somebody, you can play Fortnite and learn the game as it is supposed to be played. Now, if you want to improve your raw aim and grabbing weapons quickly, or just like switching between guns and getting like a bunch of kills, then yes, you want to make sure that if you do that, you understand that this game is based around having those materials. And that's why when I do games like this, I normally win when I play this way. That's because I farm the mats and I have the mechanics backed up with hours of like dropping tilted towers and stuff like that. Alright, so bang bang. Hope that helps you guys with some basic introductory level how to get your feet wet in Fortnite and to get them dubs. Alright. Peace.